Hey there, so really uncertain times that we are going through and really uncertain times ahead. I'm going to be sharing with you in this video some tips and tools to help you get through these rocky times, but also my take on what's going on in the world right now. So right now, I would say we're right in the middle of the tornado. We're right in the eye of it. We've got stuff flying around all over the place and we don't know what's going on. It's really uncertain. It's really fearful, especially if you watch the news, guys. It's a really, windy time. And it's really important for us to know that this too shall pass. And very soon what will happen is the tornado will move away from us and we will be able to take a different vantage point and we'll be able to see what is actually in our tornado and how we can learn from it, maybe, how things will change. We are in a time of absolute change. Now, this turbulence has only just started and it has all been brought on by this unknown virus. Well, coronavirus. Don't even want to say the words right. It feels like a swear word. So, let's just have a look at what's going on. We're having to take a step back from the way that we are living our life, which has been bringing up so much fear, especially for those of us who are self-employed, for those of us whose livelihoods rely on us interacting with other human beings, where we are providing a service for other people. People are over watching the news, over talking about it, watching negative feeds on social media, and it's creating absolute chaos. I mean, what is with the toilet roll thing? We're not going to get diarrhea, guys. Who is buying the extra toilet roll? What's happening, right? What's happening to us all? Listen, if you're feeling like you are going through some turbulent emotions and thoughts, that is to be expected. Now, even us light workers and strong people and people who've been expecting this are also feeling the turbulence and the energy shift in the planet. I know that I can certainly say that I have been through some really turbulent times in the last few weeks, and I totally believe that it was leading me personally up to this space, this time and space where I can understand more from a personal point of view what's going on collectively. So here's a few tips to help you get through the next few days, weeks, and hopefully not months, but even for the rest of your life. What I would advise you to do is, number one, you have got to start meditating. I'm going to pop some meditations into this channel. So you've got to start drawing inwards. You've got to start quieting your mind down so that you can start to make rational decisions which won't come from an emotional point of view. They'll come from a balanced and strong and focused point of view. So draw yourself inside. Before you start your day every day, take some time where you can draw your energy inside. Stop and listen to your own breath. Breathe deep into your belly and make sure that you have a consistent amount of time where you do meditate. I set an alarm on my phone. I turn my phone upside down and then I sit in quiet. Maybe I listen to a guided meditation, maybe I listen to some music, and sometimes I listen to my own breath. And I just check in with myself to see what's serving myself best in today, in this moment. And I would advise for you to do the same every single day. Please stop watching the news. Some of you I know need to be informed of different situations and scenarios. If you're working in the front lines here, then maybe you need to keep abreast. Take what you need and do it for a couple of minutes every day and then move away. Please, please fill your mind, your conscious and unconscious mind with as much positivity as you can. 98% of people that are going to suffer with this virus are going to recover. You know, that's a lot of people. And so things are being, I'm not going to, undermine it and say it's been blown out of proportion, but we're not being told the positives, because good news does not sell. Media only brings us the negative stuff. So please check into the positive news, watch some positive YouTube things, watch some positive films, some funny stuff, and start to really be mindful about what you are doing in terms of letting stuff into your own mind. You can't control what's going on, so it's the only thing that you can control is what you put into your own self, which leads me nicely on to the next point, control. So what do I mean by control? Control is having the ability and the power to enable yourself to take on and to change what is in your power to totally do so. So you can wash your hands, you can physically distance yourself from others, you can choose your own mindset, you can choose to meditate, you can choose to hold space for the other people in your family that may be struggling emotionally and mentally and even physically from what's going on around us. What you can't control is if where the virus is going to in the world, whether it comes into your town or village or not, whether your Auntie Nellie down the road gets the virus. This is stuff you can't control. So if you are worrying about this, let me tell you now, you're doing yourself and your family and your network a disservice. So worry will impact every single cell of your body. It will impact your immune system and your ability to deal with day-to-day life. Now, if you have dependents, if you have children and family members that are relying on you to carry them through this turbulent time, then you are doing them all a disservice by worrying. Your worry will not help this situation, it will hinder it. You have to start with yourself. To look after ourselves to the best possible way is paramount here. It's absolutely key, and this is really, really important. So take this advice and really control what it is that you can control. I would recommend that you write a list of everything you can control and everything you can't control, and then you can let the stuff go that you can't control, because I'm speaking to so many people. I have had so many messages from people asking me and talking to me, and people who are really struggling with anxiety, and many of you know my niche, my area of expertise is anxiety. So for people who are sensitive, at the moment this is creating havoc with their mindset. So a really great thing to do is, let's get practical about it. Write down a list of what you can and what you can't control, and then decide to let go of everything that you can't control, because you'll drive yourself insane with worry, and that is not going to help you or anybody in your family or the current state of affairs. Which again leads me really nicely on to my next point. If you are a sensitive being, which I am, any people, if you are watching this, then I will guarantee that you too are a sensitive being. Everybody that comes into contact with me is a sensitive being. My content doesn't serve the people who aren't. So thank you for watching. You will be a sensitive being, and you will be feeling the shift. And sometimes we won't be making sense of what's going on. All us will be aware of is this overwhelming feeling that we have no idea what it is, and what we're led to believe is that it is anxiety. Now, let me just tell you here what most people who are traditionally trained, they will tell you that you are anxious or you have anxiety. I'm going to tell you something different. Now, I'm going to tell you that that's not always the case. You may be just a totally sensitive being. You're sensitive to what you watch, what you hear, how other people feel. You are totally empathic for when others feel pain and you're not aware of that. You take it on. So, yeah, you're sensitive and it's okay. So watching, the news feeds, watching the news, your energy in your body will be changing. And before you know it, you're having a full-on anxiety attack. So let me tell you, fellow sensitive soul, be aware that you are sensitive and protect yourself in the best way that you can. And when these feelings arrive, please remind yourself that you are a sensitive being, that this is part of who you are and it's okay, just accept it. And again, that brings me back to the first point. Draw your energies in, take time to meditate, take time to be, take time to breathe and embrace it. And yeah, being sensitive is the biggest blessing, but also can be a real curse as well, because even people's raised voices, their words will make you feel that you've been punched in the stomach. And if you're watching the news, that will lead you to have these feelings over and over and over again, which won't be serving you and your immune system. Also, really learn to breathe. So become present in this present moment. So we're all, prophesizing and fantasizing. How long are we going to be in this situation for? We do not know. We don't know how long pubs and restaurants are going to be closed, or how long we can't go and visit our family. So anxiety is created by focusing on what's going on in the future or ruminating about what happened in the past. Being brought into the present moment by your breath alone will stop all of that, and that it will enable us to become centered and focused. None of us know what's happening in the future in any area of our life. So this situation is bringing us to ask all of those questions more frequently and in a more intense manner. So just be aware of that. Now I'm just going to finish with this. Life is going to be different, but I'm not going to say that it's going to be worse. Life and the planet and the way that we interact may be different. Businesses may be different. I don't think it's going to be worse. We were teetering as a planet globally, collectively, on the edge of something that really wasn't working. Old systems that were put in places, yes, including the NHS, years ago, are no longer functioning in the way that it needs to in this day and age. Mother Earth we were at a crisis point. So please don't allow the fear to consume you and your families. I know all of our businesses and our livelihoods and our families and our ways of living, every single one of us are feeling it. So just remember that we're all in this together, and actually it's bringing us closer. It's bringing us closer as smaller and collective communities. It's bringing us closer as villages and small towns. How can we check on our neighbours? How can we make sure that the elderly are not alone during this time of isolation? Who can we serve? Who can we look after? People are doing story times online, which I've never even heard of. Let's look at the good things. In Venice, the water's been clearer than ever before, that we've known in times of technology, where us who aren't there can see it. In China, people are able to breathe and open their windows. So let's have a look at what's needed to happen in the short term, that we are having to retreat, we are having to draw inwards and understand ourselves from an individual point of view. We are needing to then change the way that we relate to people, and we are needing to actually slow down and stop and really think about what's important here. So stay calm, stay safe, feel free to reach out. I'm going to put some meditations on here. I'm going to be doing as much as I can to support my network and my community. Please feel free to post and communicate with me. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. So whilst I can't hug you with my arms, I'm hugging you with my heart. And I am here, and all is well. Breathe deep and choose peace. In a world where we can choose anything, let's choose peace right now. We owe it to ourselves and our families and our planet. Sending lots of love. Bye-bye.